So this week we're sharing the powerful story of hope, resilience and action. One person, one bike, 250 kilometres to raise awareness of poverty and the need here for change in Wales. Wales in a Day ride is taking place from Bethlehem and Newport and back again, and it's more than just a challenge, it's a mission to bring hope to people who are struggling every day. With me, who's doing the ride, is Ben. Hello Ben, you okay?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in. Mark, who we know very well, he's not been on Newport City Radio yet, but this is going to be his debut. I see him almost every week on a Thursday fixing bikes just outside Newport City Radio HQ. How you doing, Mark? You okay?
Great to be here at last.
Lovely. You just literally inches away from the door every week, and we finally got you in. Sam's been in before, which I completely forgot about.
Yeah, I was here with Momentum previously.
Yeah. Who are now proud sponsors with us as well. So thank you, Momentum, for doing that for us. So let's start off then. So Ben, why are you doing this, and what is it that you're doing?
First reason is because I've got a good support from the Gap Wales and also Mark. I wanted to, reply back and, say thank you very much for, all the support and kindness that you had. And the other thing is I want to bring hope. I want to bring new activities and, make the people of Newport more active, giving them a hope. That's it, personally, for me.
Let's dig into that in just a couple of minutes' time then. So you mentioned the Gap Wales. Mark, what is that?
Gap Wales is a Newport-based charity. We only exist here in Newport, and it's grown over the last 17 years, literally from my wife having coffee with two Eritrean asylum seekers who she met. And that group has just grown and grown and grown. The Gap Wales offers support to refugees as they arrive in Newport to integrate in life, participate in the life of Newport and become a part of our city.
So you mentioned the word refugees there. I can hear people booing and hissing already. Let's put them right on the subject. What's your view on it?
So a refugee is somebody who's had to flee their own country because of war or persecution. It's not been a choice. Often many have fled for their lives, often leaving behind family, friends, identity. So it's great that they're welcomed in Newport, and the refugees I work with genuinely feel welcomed here in Newport despite a certain narrative in some parts of the media. They're running businesses, they're working alongside people, their kids are going to school, they're getting married, they're doing all the normal kind of stuff and contributing to life here in our city.
Yeah, which is a very, very strong message. So, Sam, you came in with the previously with Momentum. What's your role these days? What are you up to?
I've actually gone back to being a bike mechanic now. But yeah, here supporting Ben. When I started his project was with Momentum. And I've carried it on. Just, keep him, make sure he sees it through.
And you're going with Ben on the journey as well, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be cycling with him.
Okay, let's come back quickly to Matt before we go into Ben and his particular story. How does the Gap project operate? Where does it operate from, the Gap Wales?
So the Gap Wales offers drop-in support and advice to asylum seekers and refugees 4 days a week here in Newport. But we're also eager that people are able to make friends, meet other people, contribute to life. So one part of that has been our bike project, where a group of refugees meet weekly and offer on-street basic bike repairs. Ben volunteered at that right at the start of arriving, and has grown into employment for him. We're sad to lose him as a volunteer, but great that he's found employment as well. And it's just that case of giving something back to the city, helping people cycle. We all know cycling is good for the environment. We all know cycling is good for our own mental and physical well-being. I started cycling again 7 years ago after not cycling since a kid, and that really helped me with my physical fitness, but particularly with my mental health as well. So I think the more people who cycle, the less cars there are on the road, that makes space for those who do need to drive their cars.
That makes absolute sense. So Ben, what was your story? Where were you living, and where did you come from?
Originally, I'm from Iran, Persia, and I had to, leave my country for some reasons. I'm so happy about, making the decision that I made, and I just came here and, come to the Newport. Hopeless, unfortunately. Lots of mental health issues decreased, and I was just looking for support, looking for right support and help. And there was a time that I was looking for somewhere that I can get a good support, just at least talk to somebody. So I found Gap Wales and just popped down there, and I met Mark. The first time that I met Mark, I felt really safe. I didn't know him, but step by step, when I built up that relationship, I felt because basically I lost my father when I was 2. I felt the nearest experience that I have as somebody's son is with Mark, because we were fixing the bikes, and we've been trying to help the others, or rebuilding the community and saving the community, basically. So yeah, I start being volunteer with Mark. I felt really good with it, and I just continued until I met Sam. So before that, I was just fixing the bikes and being a bike mechanic with Mark. And step by step, I asked Mark, I want to be fit. I just want to try to be more healthy.
Which cycling is brilliant for that, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Ben, it was important that he was busy. I think that's been vital for him for his own physical and mental health as well. So he volunteered with the Momentum Project at Newport Life, where he now has gained employment through that volunteering as well. So given his time to fix people's bikes, to help people learn to ride, has led to employment for him as well, which is great.
Okay, so let's talk about the current challenge then. So 22nd of September, and it's based around the equinox. Who wants to pick up the equinox picks?
In Persian culture, Nowruz is a very big festival. It happens in the spring equinox. It's the New Year celebration, big cultural event for many Iranian people and other people throughout the Middle East. And so we kind of felt, why not pick the equinox, do it on? So, reflects Ben's cultural background a little bit. Obviously, 12 hours of day gives him more time for riding than maybe some other times of the year.
It's a very clever idea. So why that route?
Ben has quite strong faith, and we wanted the ride to be somewhat symbolic. And Bethlehem is Bethlehem. It's this particular ride is quite a distance. It's 250 kilometres, so it just ties in very nicely. We could have done a 250 kilometre loop anywhere, but the fact that it's to Bethlehem and back seems quite apt.
So it's all built around you, particularly Ben, isn't it? So it's kind of like a route that's very personal to you.
Yes, basically because that route has lots of hills and challenges. I took that. Sam took that route for me, and I asked him to make it more challengeable as much as we can. So yeah, it's quite symbolic, as he said, and I'm really keen to do it. The first time that we wanted to start this project, it started from a person tried to donate, but in my opinion, the way that he wanted to donate us some money wasn't a good way. So basically, I started asking Mike, can I do something about it? Can I help with that? And he said, your time is enough. But as you know, I was keen about it. I said, I can make this project happen. I can do this. I asked Sam, and he was thinking about it. He said, I don't give you a right answer, but I'll think about it. And it became this project that we call it Wales in a Day.
Yeah, fantastic. This is just part one of what will be quite a few, I guess, isn't it?
Ben has plans next year, along with Sam's support, to cycle the length of Wales in a day, over a 24-hour, which is a really big cycle. This is the build-up. He's in training. He's fairly new to cycling as well, so he's working hard to gain the fitness levels ready for next June on the solstice to cycle the length of Wales, which will be quite some achievement.
Absolutely. I don't think like's the right word, but I'm intrigued that you said that you picked a harder route for the first one. So I know that in the running circle, which I'm no longer part of, by the way, as you could probably tell, there's one run which is completely downhill. That's the run that I'm doing. So whatever the equivalent is for cycling, I'm doing that one. So let's talk logistics then about this year's challenge on the 22nd of September. Where do you start from, and what kit do you sort of take?
So we're going to start from the Gap in Newport, and then it's a fairly...
Where's that based?
Stowe Hill.
Yeah.
The historic heart of Newport.
Absolutely. The beating heart of Newport. There you go.
It's a fairly gentle ride up to Bethlehem, really. We're going up to the Devil's Elbow, into St. Geneth, up to Bethlehem, and then we loop back then, and it's the return leg that's quite difficult. That return leg is over the Black Mountain and over the Walk. So we've got two mountains, one after the other. We descend one and then straight up the next. So yeah, it probably would have been wiser to do it the other way around, but Ben wanted a challenge, so we're going to do it the hard way around. We're going to save the real climbing to the second half. And then, yeah, I mean, in terms of what we're bringing, it's really just about calories on the bike. We'll take lots of fuel with us.
What format does that take?
This is a good question for Ben, because Ben and I did a recent training ride where we fueled, but Ben fueled particularly poorly, but it was a valuable lesson for Ben in what you can and can't take.
Yeah, as you know, most of the time Sam teaches me the things on a bike, and before that he just, don't give me enough information that I can gain some experience. So yeah, on that ride I need lots of carbs and lots of sugar, as he said, carbs everywhere, carbs in water, carbs as food. And recently we did 200k to Malmesbury comeback. On that time I was quite sick and I was coughing, but I didn't get fooled very well, and it was quite challenging that I could finish it, but it was very hard for me.
Because we're talking fuel, we're talking food, we're talking carbs. How does this look? So you take it on the bike, and do you take it with you, and as you eat more the bike gets lighter? Is it that sort of thing?
We're going to be stopping regularly, so we'll take enough for the first 50k, eating on the bike. So it's going to be, Ben, it's important to note that Ben and I are not athletes. We're not sat here with a pro team sat behind us. We're riding average bikes. We're riding average gear. We're going to be eating B&M bargain flapjacks. We haven't got pro catering or a team van behind us. So we'll take enough food for the first 50. We'll stop somewhere, a spa somewhere in a Valleys town, pick up some more flapjacks, some more caffeine, and we'll crack on for the next 50. This is not we're not Tour de France riders. We are just two average guys riding a very big distance.
That's amazing. And how does it work again in terms of the journey? Is there a set amount of times that you can stop? I guess you have to stop. You can't do 250k non-stop.
No, we'll have to stop at some point. But I mean, the less time we stop, the better, really. I've tried to sort of do that with Ben. So, 250k, realistically, I'm expecting it to take us sort of 13, 14 hours. And of that 13, 14 hours, I'd probably no more than an hour off the bike. We want to eat on the bike. You can't pee on the bike, obviously. We're going to have to stop to go to toilet breaks. But yeah, the less time off the bike, the better. We don't want to fatigue. We don't want to get our muscles going cold and tired. We want to keep on going.
And we've asked Ben this question, but as you're going with Ben, I suppose we need to ask you the same thing. Why are you doing this?
Oh, I quite like this sort of thing. This is my wheelhouse.
You're real challenge junkie, yeah?
I just like long distances. Yeah, so I do 200 kilometres fairly regularly. That's quite a normal distance for me. And then next year, sort of, we talked briefly about the Wales of a Day project. That's going to be 400 kilometres, which is probably my upper limit of what I've done previously. I think that for most people, that distance is quite scary. But actually, if you can show as an average person you can do it, you can break down those barriers for other people to come into this sport and cycle.
Should we ask Mark why he's not doing it?
Well, I haven't been invited.
That's the perfect answer.
I think for Ben as well, he's relatively new to cycling. Literally 2 years ago, I think, probably hadn't ridden a bike since he was a kid. Yeah. Started volunteering at the project. Started to cycle just to get around with a free bike from the project. Found that really helped him physically and mentally. Started then to cycle a bit further. Kind of got the bug. Started to get a bit fitter. Then, picked up with Sam and certainly did the couch to 50k at Newport Live's Momentum project, which I think really, really gave him an appetite for this is a sport and exercise that he enjoys personally. Me, I'm happy with just a few miles here and there on my bike as Ben whizzes past me at great speed. But I think, that's the joy of cycling. You can do it at whatever level you choose to. I've seen Ben go from literally a non-cyclist to somebody who genuinely enjoys it as a hobby, but also recognises the vital boost it gives to his mental and physical health as well.
So logistically, is there anything you can do from this end of the situation, or is it really just down to these two guys?
All in the hands of these guys, and delighted that Ben came up with the idea. Fantastic that Sam is offering some coaching support as well, because Ben needs to train to get fit enough to do it. Delighted to hear that Ben's been sick while cycling and still persevered, which is good. You got through that mental challenge, because there's a mental challenge as well as a physical one.
Absolutely, yeah. You two are crazy for doing this full stop, but they're absolutely right. You don't instantly think of that. It's such a physical thing, riding a bike, and that you don't think about the other stuff that comes with it. And over that journey, of course, you're going to come across these. Do you know how you're going to cope in those difficult moments? Because they're about to come, aren't they? You're about to be on the bike and think, why am I doing this?
Well, something inspired me. That was a good thing. Something inspired me because of my background, because when I started over here, I came through the poverty. There was a time, unfortunately, I didn't have money to buy a, drink for myself when I was really tired on the bike, or also sometimes didn't have, enough money to buy some food after training. So basically, sometimes I drop training, and whenever some people ask me, why don't you do that? I just, give them some unvalid reasons to just, get rid of those questions. But step by step, I just found that I want to involve to the community, support the community, and serve the community. So whatever I've done, it just, first of all, it belongs to the God, and after that, for the people who need enough support.
And at the moment, everything you seem really bright, you seem really well, you seem really healthy. It's good seeing you just about to take this on. What is life like for you now in 2025 compared to what it was? What does a day look like for you not being on the bike?
Well, these days I'm working and getting pulled through volunteering, and it helps me and it also encourages me to make the people cycle more. That's part of my job with Newport Live, Momentum. And recently my situation really gets better than the past, because in the past I came through lots of hard situations, lots of problems, and I'm just happy that those physical problems and mental problems are finished. But it's not finished yet. It's coming through another in another way. So basically every day I'm busy, and sometimes too much busy, and I just try to keep continuing, because whatever I get tired by the end of the day, I just thinking about the people who needs help, people who need support. So that keeps me encouraging, keep continuing, and then go on, Ben, do it.
What's the future plans, Ben?
Well, for the future plans, I was thinking about Wales in a Day when we finish this challenge in September, 21st of September. And next year, when we finish it, I have a plan to make it as an event. So basically, we're bringing a new activity to Newport, and not just that, to Wales, that King cyclists can do Holyhead to Newport.
Because I guess this is now you kind of almost paying back, isn't it? So it's kind of like a situation that you've been through this, and you now want other people to get the benefits that you felt, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And is that where the fundraising comes into it a little bit as well?
Yes. So the reason of the fundraising is help Gap, because at the moment I just discovered that Gap is struggling with lots of projects that they needs money to support the people in the community. So I just started this project with the Gap, and hopefully in the future it can continue consistently, not just for the Gap, for all the some organizations that needs help as well, or some churches that needs to get funded and help.
So, Mark, where does the money go? What does it physically do for your organisation?
A lot of the work we do, as you've heard from Ben, is about supporting people finding accommodation, supporting people getting into work, supporting people with their future plans and aspirations. Ben's got aspirations to do A-levels and then go on to university, with people finding employment, people navigating some of the systems in the UK around accessing medical care or legal advice, that kind of thing, really. So at the Gap Wales, we want to see people flourish. We want to see people support them through a transition time when they first arrive in the country, having had to leave whatever forced them to leave, and that loss of identity, and just resettle into life here.
So people listening, they'll want to get involved in this. It's a fantastic thing that you're doing, Ben. Sam, you need your head bread going with him, but I appreciate you like a challenge, and it's such a worthy cause that you're working with, Mark. What do our listener need to do?
If you can, and if you can afford it, chip in to support Ben in his cycle. You'll find it on the local giving website. Search for From Bethlehem to Newport.
2 is the number 2, isn't it? Bethlehem to Newport.
Bethlehem to Newport.
Yeah.
I just want to say, on the Facebook and on Instagram as well, there's a page which name is Wales in a Day, and also there's a QR code that they can scan it and donate if they want.
And this is what we really want to make clear today, isn't it? So Wales in a Day is the overriding thing, Ben, that you're trying to do, and this is the first step in Wales in a Day, isn't it? So yeah, fantastic. So localgiving.org/fundraising/ Bethlehem number 2 Newport, I think is what I've got on my sheet. Does that sound about right to you guys?
Perfect.
I want to say thank you, all 3 of you, for coming in today. I really appreciate coming in and having a conversation. We're a fantastic thing to do. I still think you're slightly mad, but I think the more people that do things like this, I always say that you can't change big picture stuff, but you can certainly change what's directly in front of you. I think you 3 are doing that. So thank you for being in with us today.